Morning, Emerald. You're up early.
I know. Wanted to see if the rain had stopped.
Oh, I know. Isn't it awful? All right, darling. Nanny's coming.
I don't think it's never going to stop raining.
Never mind. We'll think of something nice to do.
It's so boring.
Perhaps it'll clear up later. Morning, Nancy. Hand in front of your mouth, please.
Oh, it's not still raining. I know. Isn't it boring? Means we can't go out to the park. I think there's going to be another flood.
Did the fairies come for your tooth, Nancy?
I got sixpence, look.
Oh, who's the lucky girl, then? Right, off you go, both of you, and get dressed with Alice.
Why? It's no point.
Go on, off you go.
Don't want to.
Of course you do. And tell Alice there's some more Wright's cold tar in the cupboard by the basin.
No.
Be a good girl. You know, I always tell everyone you'd be amazed. They are such good girls.
Don't want to, don't want to, don't want to. Oh, all right.
There we are, Emerald.
That's it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Right, off you go, girls, to the bathroom with Alice.
Oh, potting. Sometimes I think I'm going to turn into one someday, Nanny.
Yes, I'm sure you do, Alice. At least with the other two girls back in the schoolroom, we are a little less rushed.
That's it.
Thank you, Emerald.
Oh, by the way, Nanny, Miss Amir didn't go again yesterday.
Oh, well, never mind. I'm sure she'll be successful this morning.
That's it. Else we all know what we'll be swallowing, don't we, Miss M?
Don't mind, I like super figs.
I don't mind it either.
Yes, but you don't want to take it every day, do you? Else you might turn into a fig. We don't want that, do we?
Don't mind?
Oh, I would. Somebody might come along and swallow you up.
No, they wouldn't.
Oh, yes, they would. Especially if they knew you was made out of pretty little girls.
Alice.
So if I was you, I would try extra hard this morning.
Alice, I don't actually think that's quite the right attitude. Right, off you go, girls. And those of you who want to go, go. And those of you who can't, don't worry.
I was never like this with Nanny Partridge.
You're cheating. I was not cheating. You were, you were, you were. I wasn't. Yes, you were. You rotten cheat, you pig. I was not cheating. It was you.
Girls! You must have this fight. Girls, stop it! Right, out into the park with a lot of you. Rain or no rain. Go on, get your coats on. Hurry up. Come on, hurry up. Come along, Caro. No lagging behind like a cow's tail.
Coming, Nanny. I'm tired. I want to go home.
No, we're not going home yet, Nancy. Not until we've done our hour and a half. We've got to work up a nice big appetite for lunch.
Lunch. Ugh.
Lunch is lovely when you've got a big appetite. Oh, put that down, Emerald.
I like tea because you make it.
Oh, thank you, Emerald. I'm sure Cook does her best with lunch.
It's always fish. Yorble fish. I hate fish.
Yes. Well, I'm quite sure it won't be fish again today.
Don't want it, won't eat it.
Well, we've got to eat something, Emerald.
I hate fish.
Well, look, then, the only thing to do is pretend that it isn't fish, that it's, say, roast beef or chicken.
Yes.
Abracadabra! There. Bob's your uncle from Bermondsey.
Nothing else has bones and slimy skin except fish.
No, Nancy, I'm afraid you're right, but we could at least try to pretend that it isn't yorrible fish.
Pooh.
managed to get Boy off to sleep anyway.
Girls went down easy. That's something at any rate. Cook ain't gonna like this, you know, Nanny. They've hardly touched anything today.
I know, but we can hardly blame them, Alice. Boiled cod practically every day.
Mildred, she says Cook only knows how to do them that starts with B. Beef, brains and boiling cod.
Surely Mr. and Mrs. Sackville eat other things?
Well, not so's you'd notice. Mrs. Sackville, she don't eat anything. She just sits at table. Mr. Sackville, well, there ain't a lot of things he likes.
Except beef brains and boiling cod.
That's it.
You know, Nanny, it's years since I ate any of Cook's food, so I'd be the last person to comment.
But what happens when you entertain Mrs. Sackville?
Oh, good heavens, Nanny. I get a chef in, if we have to have proper food, anyway.
Oh, I see. But we can't expect the children to eat boiled cod practically every day of their young lives. Otherwise, they'll only grow up to think of food and eating as some form of punishment.
You know, Nanny, I'm quite sure you're right.
So I was wondering if you could get Cook to try some of the recipes out of this book.
Miss Doris B. Sheridan's nursery cookbook.
As recommended by Nursery World.
Well, I dare say we can but try, Nanny, although I'm not quite sure that Cook can even read. Now, on to other things.
Mrs. Sackville.
Now then, at the end of the month, I have to go over to France. I have to attend to some business things, materials being woven and so on. But Mr. Sackville's mother will be coming to stay while I'm away, and she will have, as always, overall supervision of things. I'm sure everything will go smoothly. It usually does.
Mrs. Sackville...
So, I'll have a word with Cook before I go. That will be all. Thank you, Nanny. Was there something else, Nanny?
Mrs. Sackville, I wonder whether we could have a sofa in the nursery.
A sofa? I take it you mean an old sofa?
Yes, something for the children to play on. They get so bored otherwise, particularly with all this rain we've been having.
You've got masses of things to play with.
Yes, but nothing to actually play on. Heave ho! Heave ho! Come on, everybody, row harder! You never get anywhere if you don't row hard. Heave ho! Oh, watch out! There's a great big wave! So am I. Now I'll bail out. Otherwise we'll all get wet bottoms.
Heave ho! Heave ho!
Oh, land ahoy! It's an island. Yes, come on. You jump ashore, Emerald, and pull the boat in and tie it up. That's right. You help her, Nancy. Right, and you two can go off on an expedition of exploration, while Midshipman Carrow and I, we stay here and we'll guard the boat.
And do be on the lookout for the natives. I hear they're the most frightening, fiercest people you've ever seen.
I've seen one! I've seen one!
Oh, hurry up! They're coming! There are thousands of them! Run quickly! They're going to get you! Come on, jump aboard! Untie the boat! For goodness sake, hurry, Emerald! They'll get you! Wow! Come on, row!
Come on, everybody! Come on, Nancy! Harder! Harder! Heave ho! Heave!
The sofa, Nanny, in our shoes.
Oh, it's all right, Mr. Sackville. We were only playing a game.
We don't allow shoes on the furniture, Nanny. I'm quite strict about that. Now then, how is everything? I just popped by to see everything was all right.
Oh, everything's as it should be, I think, Mr. Sackville.
Excellent, excellent. My son?
Oh, he's sleeping. He's really a very good boy.
Of course. Well, then, if there isn't anything else,
Oh, everything's fine, Mr.
jolly
Sackville.
good. Carry on.
Thank you. Right.
I would actually prefer it, Nanny, if we did keep our feet off the furniture.
Oh, yes, Mr. Sackville. But actually, this sofa isn't really furniture, is it, girls?
No, Nanny.
It looks a perfectly normal sofa to me, Nanny. In fact, it looks very much like the sofa that we used to have in the In the little room downstairs.
Oh, yes, that's right, it is.
Except it isn't.
Quiet, Emerald. I'm talking to Nanny. Does Mrs. Sackville know that you have this sofa up here, Nanny?
Yes, Mr. Sackville. I particularly wanted an old one that wasn't in use anymore so that we could put our shoes on it and walk about on it and jump up and down on it and do on it anything we wished to do. But children must learn to play, Mr. Sackville.
Yes, but not all over the furniture, Nanny.
It isn't furniture, Father. It's a boat.
We must encourage the children to use their imaginations, Mr. Sackville. Otherwise, they'll only grow up into dull, unimaginative people.
I can't imagine that happening, Nanny.
No, I don't suppose you can. The imagination needs regular exercise.
Yes, but not all over the furniture. All I can say is, I certainly wasn't allowed to do this sort of thing when I was a boy.
Right, come along, all aboard. We just float about while I tell you a story. Now, once upon a time, many moons ago, there was a very special magic island. And children were the only people who were allowed on this island because children were the only people with the proper passports. Now, the most wonderful thing about this island was that once on it, you could turn anything you didn't like into something you did like. So that if you wanted strawberries... Strawberries, yes. To grow from, say, a horrid nettle bush, you just said, "Please, Magic Island, make strawberries grow from nettles." And they would, and they did, and it was lovely. And nothing bad ever happened on this magic island because if it did, you could just turn it into something good.
Where is this magic island, Nanny?
Here, Nancy. Oh, hello.
Hello, Nanny.
You're back then.
That's
I wasn't expecting you so early. You have a nice afternoon. Must be dying for a cup of tea.
Oh, lovely,
I'll put
Nanny.
the kettle on. You were going to the pictures, didn't you say?
No, I didn't got no pictures, Nanny.
You were going to see the new Garbo, weren't you, you lucky girl? Did you see her and Anna Christie? Garbo talks. I'll never forget that.
I think I'm getting a blooming bunion.
What about something to eat? I could make you some scrambled eggs or something.
No, I had a big tea when I was out, thanks, Nanny.
So, tell me about the picture.
Like I said, I didn't go to no picture house. I met a friend for tea, like.
Oh well.
Girl who used to work here in the kitchens.
Really? Well, you didn't miss much here this afternoon. Do you know Cook sent up boiled cod for lunch again?
Oh, she never.
From the look of it, it was yesterday's leftovers reheated. Mrs. Sackville can't have given her that new recipe book yet.
You'll never get Cook to pay no heed to no new recipes. She'll never change. Nanny Partridge had a go, and look where it got her. Nowhere.
What about Miss Sullivan? Doesn't she ever complain about the food?
Yes, but Cook pays heed to her because she's the governess.
Well, the children are much more important than Miss Sullivan. I'll have a word with Mrs. Sackville about it.
That's it.
I've been meaning to talk to her about the two oldest girls missing nursery tea. I don't think it's at all good for them, being completely cut off from their sisters and from all of us during term time.
Well, that's Miss Sullivan, Nanny. She won't let us see them now, not till the holidays.
Really?
Yeah.
In that case, I'll have a word with Miss Sullivan. It is only for an hour an afternoon.
It would be perfectly all right. We're not Miss Artemis and Miss Dorothy, such very naughty girls.
They're not naughty.
There our opinions differ, I'm afraid.
Well, it might help if they were allowed out of the schoolroom occasionally. Children in a family home should feel they belong together. There shouldn't be any sort of gulf. It only sets up the wrong sort of feeling. A feeling of separation.
This is nonsense. Children must be seen to learn. Must be made to learn, Nanny. Otherwise they grow up slovenly and lazy. I am a teacher. I think I know my job.
Yes, I know, but since I start what you have to finish, I would have thought that some cooperation would therefore be mutually beneficial.
I think there's very little else to say on the subject, Nanny. Thank you.
Then I shall have to speak with Mrs. Sackville.
And so I assure you shall I. In fact, I shall speak to her today. Good morning, Nanny.
But Mrs. Sackville's already left for France.
I am referring to Mrs. Sackville, Senior.
What must one's friends think? A woman in her position. A woman in her position to be in business is absurd, quite out of the question.
I don't know. A chap at my club told me the other day his wife had opened a dress shop. A lot of women doing this sort of thing, apparently. It all started up after the war.
Of course, all this started up after the war, you know, this sort of thing. And if I were you, I'd come down on it pretty hard.
Dorinda's not that sort of woman, Mother. You can't come down pretty hard on Dorinda. She's just not that sort of woman.
Of course, Dorinda's not that sort of woman, no. She should be here, keeping an eye on her family. No wonder she gets through so many nannies.
Well, actually, we've got a very good one at the moment. Well, at least she seems very good.
Don't tell me you've lost Nanny Partridge. I told Dorinda, I said, if you want to keep your nanny, you have to be here. Nannies do not like their mothers going out on business. I told Dorinda. It makes them look ridiculous in front of other nannies, and nannies do not like that. They do not like it at all. Frederick. And as for the business she's chosen, soft furnishings, indeed, I mean, that's tantamount to trade. Whichever way one looks at it, it's tantamount to trade.
Well, you know Dorinda, Mother. She's always been frightfully artistic.
Trouble with Dorinda is she's always been hopelessly artistic, and if I were you, I'd come down on the whole thing pretty hard. It's really not the sort of thing one wants to see encouraged.
Well, I've tried talking to her about it, but she simply gets up and walks out of the room. I mean, what's a man supposed to do when his wife does that?
Make her talk about it. You must insist that she does what you want. If you don't want her to go out on business, then she must not go out on business. There's no two ways about it. Trouble with Dorinda is she doesn't listen. But remember, Dorinda is married to you and not vice versa. You just remember that.
I suppose you're right, Mother.
Of course I'm right, Frederick. I'm your mother. Now then, tell me about this new nanny.
Well, she'll be bringing him down in a few minutes, so you can judge for yourself. She seems very good, I told you. Bit modern, perhaps.
Modern? Good heavens. I don't like the sound of that at all. The last thing one wants nowadays is the modern nanny.
Well, the children seem very happy with her.
If she's all lax and modern with them, of course they'll be happy. Don't be so silly. You employ a nanny to discipline your children, make them understand what they have to do and when they have to do it. I've never believed in modern nannies. And look at you.
Come on, girls.
There we are. Oh, come on, cheer up. Your grandmother's really looking forward to seeing you, you know.
I suppose this is all symptomatic of this new nanny's modern ways. Bringing the children down at this time.
I told her to bring them down later so that you would be rested from your journey.
I've never believed in modern nannies.
Normally come down to see Dorinda at 4:30.
When Dorinda is here. Coming! Good evening, girls.
Good evening, Grandmother.
Good evening, Mrs. Sackville.
I said good evening, Caroline. Have you left your manners upstairs in the nursery, child?
She's probably feeling a little shy.
Children have no right to be shy. We were never allowed to be shy at her age. And will you please stop her sucking her thumb in that horribly vulgar fashion, Nanny?
Well, she doesn't do it very often, only when she's going to sleep.
I beg your pardon?
Most children grow out of it pretty quickly.
By which time they have buck teeth, which isn't very pretty at all, is it, Caroline?
Oh, it doesn't really give them buck teeth, Mrs. Sackville. That's an old wives' tale.
Really? Caroline, will you take that thumb out of your mouth at once and look at me?
Come along, darling. That's right.
And do stop snivelling. Really, you're carrying on just like a baby. Nanny, will you kindly stop her making that quite frightful noise immediately?
Of course.
That will be all. Thank you, Nanny.
Thank you, Mrs. Sackville. Come along, girls. Say good night to your grandmother.
Good night, Grandmother.
Right. We go then.
Nanny, show me. Thank God Dorinda remembered and gave you an heir at last. Boys are so much nicer, aren't they? Much more affectionate. Oh, he's even got your dimples, Frederick. By the way, Nanny, where are the other two girls?
I'm afraid they're still preparing their lessons for Miss Sullivan.
As well they ought. I shall go up to the schoolroom tomorrow morning and visit them. Thank you, Nanny.
Good night, Mrs. Sackville. Good night, Mr. Sackville. Come along, girls.
And while we're on the subject, Frederick, I think Emerald's a little too old still to be in the nursery with Nanny. I mean, really, surely she should be in the schoolroom with her two older sisters by now.
Well, I thought that I would...
I shall discuss the matter with Miss Sullivan in the morning.
J'ai, tu as, il a, nous avons, vous avez, ils ont.
J'ai, tu as, il a, nous avons, vous avez, ils ont.
Decline the present tense of the verb to be. Artemis, please, on your own.
Je suis, tu es, il est, nous avons, vous avez, ils ont.
And I have told you, please do not smile like that. I do not like your attitude.
Ah, Miss Sullivan, good morning.
Good morning, Mrs. Sackville.
Good morning, girls.
Good morning, Grandmother.
Hard at work, I see. Splendid. I've come to see just how hard you're working, girls. And lucky girls, too, eh, Miss Sullivan? Instead of being away at some horrid boarding school,
Lucky girls, but very lazy ones, Mrs. Sackville.
Yes, but we know the cure for that, don't we?
Indeed we do, Mrs. Sackville.
Now, Miss Sullivan, something I want to talk to you about. I want to talk to you about Emerald. As I was saying to my son last night, I really think it's about time Emerald left the nursery and joined her sisters here in the schoolroom.
Oddly enough, I was going to talk to you on that very same matter.
I want coconut. Carrie wants coconut. Carrie, don't jump. Carrie wants coconut. I want. You're not coming on the magic coconut. I want to all everything. Go and see Rocky. See what Rocky wants to be today. Rocky wants to be a horse. Rocky is a horse, stupid. Rocky likes being a horse. It's silly if he's the same thing every day.
That's all right, Emerald. Magic Island is especially for letting people do and be whatever they want to do and be. So if Rocky wants to be a horse, then that's what Rocky must be.
It's stupid. He's been a horse all week. My turn. Your turn. Making Dutch doll into something. What are you going to make her into? Miss Sullivan. Not Miss Sullivan on the Magic Island. If we make Dutch doll into Miss Sullivan, then we can hit her with a stick.
Oh, now, Nancy. I don't think we'll have any of that.
Miss Sullivan hits Artemis with a stick.
Oh, don't be silly. Of course she doesn't. You be kind to Dutch Dolly. Turn her into somebody you don't want to hit.
It's so hot on the Magic Island now. We need a drink. So we're going to drink from our coconuts. Come on, Nancy.
Good morning, Nanny.
Good morning, Miss Sullivan. Though it is customary to knock, as well as being polite. Can I do something for you?
Yes. I've come to collect Miss Emerald.
There must be some mistake.
Of course there's no mistake. It is the express orders of her grandmother that today she comes down to the schoolroom.
I'm afraid I know nothing of this.
Because it does not concern you, Nanny.
Well, of course it concerns me, and Mrs. Sackville most certainly said nothing to me about
Mrs.
Emerald
Sackville
coming
said she is to come down to the schoolroom with the older children now. Thank you. Emerald?
Nothing has been said to me concerning Emerald's removal from the nursery to the schoolroom floor.
And I have told you before, Nanny, this is no concern of yours.
And I have told you that while their mother is away, that children's welfare is my concern.
Come along, Emerald, please.
Oh. I think you had better let go of Emerald at once, Miss Sullivan.
No, she is to come with me at once. Come along, Emerald, please.
Emerald is just about to have her lunch. And when she has had her lunch, she will be having her rest. And then, and only then, will I bring her down to you. I'm afraid you cannot interrupt nursery routine, my nursery routine, in this quite arbitrary fashion. Emerald will be with you at about 4 o'clock.
Ridiculous. I will have finished afternoon lessons by then.
In that case, Emerald will be brought down to the school floor tomorrow morning. Much more practical, don't you think, Miss Sullivan?
My orders were for her to be moved today.
I'm sure her grandmother will understand. Children cannot have their routine interrupted in this way.
I see. Well, I might as well take the child's clothing with me now, so call the maid at once, please.
Ah, I'm afraid Alice is very busy. There is a large amount of nursery ironing which she must finish this afternoon.
Really?
Or perhaps she's putting it away. Alice!
Sorry, Nanny. I was just putting away some of that ironing.
Very well. So when she is free, perhaps you will kindly send her down with the wretched child's clothes. Please?
It's all right, darling. She's not nearly as bad as you think she is.
She's worse. She's wicked as a witch and nasty as a toad.
Alice!
So-
Good heavens! I see what Miss Sullivan means.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Sackville.
Good afternoon, children. Well,
Come along, girls.
Good afternoon, Grandmother.
I'm a little lost as to quite what's going on, Nanny.
Oh, they were only letting off steam, Mrs. Sackville.
We used to call that sort of thing showing off when I was young.
They were only having a game.
Little children should be seen and not heard. That is the dictum we were all brought up on. Still, I don't suppose that's suitable for nowadays. Perhaps it isn't quite modern enough. And that's the last time I expect to see you sucking your thumb, Caroline, because I have purchased a bottle of bitter aloes. Nanny, I want you to paint this on her thumb without fail. We shall soon cure her of that horrid habit.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Sackville, but I don't subscribe to that sort of treatment. I'm afraid if
Nanny,
a
you
child
will
feels
kindly
it
do as
needs
you're
to...
told. And another thing. Cook showed me what the children have been leaving on their plates. Frankly, I was quite shocked. Children should be made to eat up everything that's put in front of them, Nanny. And if they don't eat it up at one meal, then they should be made to eat it up at the next, and so on, until they do eat it up, as we did. That is the only way to make children understand food. That is the only way to make children eat. As a matter of fact, Alice, I think you could clear away all this tea and send them to bed hungry, and then perhaps tomorrow they'll start appreciating their food again.
Yes, except I'm afraid it wasn't the children who left all that fish at lunchtime, Mrs. Sackville. That was Alice and I.
Oh?
That's it, Mrs. Sackville. We just didn't have the appetite.
No, I don't like fish all that much.
I see. You gave yourselves rather large helpings, did you? Well, if that's the case, the children had better have their tea. And will you kindly remember to paint Caroline's thumb with this? Good night, children.
All right, come on, everybody, let's have tea.
Tea!
We're about to receive. May the Lord make us truly thankful. Amen.
Lovely. Leave some for me.
My goodness, I've never seen you looking prettier. Have you, Alice?
Oh, I've seen her looking pretty, Nanny, but as you say, never prettier.
I feel sick.
Do you?
Can I take Binky with me, please, Nanny?
Oh, of course. You can take what you like.
Imagine us forgetting Mr. Binky. I don't know, I really don't.
Now, don't forget to say your prayers, will you?
No. I think I am going to be sick, Nanny.
No, you're not. You only think you are.
There you are, Miss M. Now, mind you don't go misbehaving yourself.
No.
Good morning.
Good morning, Miss Sullivan, though we seem to have forgotten our manners again.
I beg your pardon.
Knock, knock.
I hardly think there is any reason for me to knock before coming in here.
Really? Well, we do. Now then.
Anyway, I take it you have Miss Emerald ready. It's time to take her down to the schoolroom.
Emerald will be with you in just 1 minute. There.
I'm sorry. No hair ribbons in the schoolroom, please. And most certainly no toys.
It's all right, Emerald. Alice will bring Binky down at bedtime.
I do not allow toys at any time. Not once the children start school. Come along, Emerald. Good morning, Nanny. Come along.
I don't know how she's going to cope. Not with Miss Sullivan. She ain't the type. Well, she didn't like Miss Artemis and Miss Dotty. I don't know how she's going to cope.
What we are
About to receive, may the Lord make us truly thankful. Amen.
Nanny, what on earth is this meant to be?
I took heed of what you were saying the other day, you know, about all this waste of food, and so you agreed to come up and have lunch today. Instead of asking Cook to make something special, I got her to send up what was left over from yesterday, as you suggested. Come along, everyone. I do hope you like it. It's brain stew.
I cannot imagine what Dorinda was thinking.
I can never imagine what Dorinda's thinking.
How in heaven's name can you expect your cook to take any interest in what she's cooking if the mistress of the house is never there? And I was expected to eat it. I mean, I ask you. And as for this Nanny being progressive, serving up leftovers of such nature, pig's will. I never heard of such a thing. No wonder all your children suck their thumbs. They must be starving. The Lord alone knows the food in the dining room is bad enough, but in the nursery, pig's will. Except that I doubt that even the pigs would eat it. What on earth does Dorinda imagine she's up to?
Well, it's not really Dorinda, Mother. You see, when Cook first came here, Dorinda was away, and so Cook asked me what sort of thing I'd like them to eat, and so I told her the sort of thing I was given as a boy. You know, boiled beef, brains, boiled fish, that sort of thing.
Well, I've given Cook a recipe book. A nursery recipe book I found lying around here, and I've told her she must stick to it. Doesn't anybody care what goes on upstairs? Doesn't anybody care except me?
Put out your hand, please, Emerald. This is the third time that you've forgotten your spelling.
No, Miss Sullivan, please, please, Miss Sullivan.
I said put out your hand, please, Emerald.
Please, Miss Sullivan, I'm sorry, Miss Sullivan.
Will you please put out your hand?
Smile at me. Smile. Smile. It's all right, Em, honestly. You soon get used to it. No, you don't. You just get used to hating it. My hand hurts, Dotty. Can you stop it hurting? We soak ours in vinegar. That stops it hurting a bit. Now, quick, settle down before Miss Sullivan hears you. I'm not going to stay here. I'm going to kill myself. Of course you're not. Don't be wet. Night, Em. Night, Emmy. I will. I'll kill myself. Nanny, please. No. Nanny, rats. Please. No. Nanny, rats. Please. No. Nanny, rats.
Will you please stop making that horrible noise, Emerald?
Please. Rats. Nanny, rats. No. Please. Nanny.
What on earth do you think you're doing?
No. Nanny. Rats.
Please,
Please.
will you stop this noise at once? At once!
No. Go away.
Emerald.
Rats.
Emerald.
Rats.
Sit up at once.
No.
At
I
once.
want Nanny.
Now, Emerald.
Rats. Rats.
Emerald,
I
you
want
will
Nanny.
stop this.
No. Rats. Please. No.
Do
I
you
want
hear what
Nanny.
I'm
No.
saying? Do you
No.
hear what I'm saying?
No. Please.
Emerald, stop it.
Rats.
Stop
No.
it.
No.
Do you hear what I'm
Nanny.
saying? Emerald.
Nanny.
Emerald.
Rats. Nanny. Nanny. Quick. It's Emerald.
Don't you even know who I am? This is Miss Sullivan. You must know who I am, Emerald. Emerald!
Don't be such a blasted fool. What on earth do you think you're doing?
Doing?
It's all right, darling.
What do you think you're doing, Nanny? I'm simply trying to waken the child, but it's impossible. I've shaken her, I've slapped her.
You what?
I slapped her, simply to try to wake her up.
Just go and telephone the doctor, will you?
Telephone the doctor.
Yes. This child is seriously ill.
Dropped half a point, just over 104.
Perhaps the sponging helped to bring it down.
How long has she been like this?
Well, I was only called 3/4 of an hour ago, but even then her nightdress and bed were quite sodden.
Well?
I'm not sure, Doctor. When she first called, I simply thought she was just being naughty.
When was that?
I don't know, maybe 2, maybe 3 hours ago.
Did you come in and see her?
Why? I simply thought she was being naughty. She's always naughty at night time.
Notice any spasms to the neck or back?
No.
Vomiting?
No.
The child hasn't been sick?
No, not so far as I know.
Right. Let's sit you up. What's your name? What's your name, child? Just get her out of bed. Yes. Yes. Right, Emerald. Let's see if you can bend down and touch your toes, can you? Can you bend down and touch your toes? Let's try and discover the cause of this delirium. Not too happy because it's so deep-seated. It's an analgesic down her if we can, and I'll give her another thorough going over. But if she's still not making sense by morning, straight into hospital.
M. Emerald. Emerald, darling. Emerald. 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 M. M? It's me. It's Nanny.
Nanny?
That's it. That's it. Now, don't worry. Everything's going to be all right.
I'm dying, Nanny.
No, of course you're not dying. Don't be such a fathead. Everything's going to be all right. Look. Here's Pinky.
I saw a bright light, Nanny, down a sort of hall. A big, bright light.
Did you, darling? You must have been dreaming.
I am dying, aren't I, Nanny?
Of course you're not, Emerald.
Please, Nanny, take me back to the nursery.
The doctor said you weren't to be moved, sweetie.
Please, take me back to the nursery. There aren't any great big rats at the bottom of my bed in the nursery. Please take me back to the nursery. Please take me where there aren't any great big rats.
There we are. Oops. I see. And where do you think you're going? We're going where there aren't any rats.
Thank you, Nanny.
There now, go to sleep.
Nonsense, Doctor. Children run temperatures for absolutely no reason.
It could well have been meningitis with a fever as sudden and as acute as that.
Nonsense.
But I've examined her this morning. Her temperature's normal and there's really no trace of any infection at all. By which I mean nothing in the ear, nose or throat which could cause such a fever, and certainly no stiffness in the joints.
My son was forever running temperatures. Usually because he was simply unhappy about something.
Really? Well, anyway, your granddaughter is much recovered this morning with not even a hint of a temperature. So if this sort of improvement continues, she can be up in a day or two and be running around normally by the end of the week.
Of course.
But I must say, I'm astonished. The child really was very delirious last night.
Of course, you doctors never listen to mothers, do you? Believe you me, if you did, there'd be far less sickness in the world.
I'm sure. Mind you, children are extraordinary animals. One of my young patients can run a temperature at will, you know. Had us quite worried till we realized the coincidence of the sudden high fevers and his mother's overactive social life. However, there is a matter I wish to discuss with you.
Oh?
And that is this ugly bruising on your elder grandchildren's hands. Are you aware of this, Mrs. Sackville?
It really is no business of mine to peek and pry into the way my daughter-in-law chooses to run her household.
Then I'd better have a word with your daughter-in-law.
She's away.
Then I shall speak to their father. It has been made perfectly clear to me how these wounds are being inflicted and by whom. I shall recommend that the culprit be dismissed and a suitable replacement be found for her. Obviously, the woman is not of stable enough character to be entrusted with the care of young children.
I told my daughter-in-law, Doctor. I said the very same things to her about this governess, but you know, the trouble with these young people nowadays is they just will not listen. You cannot imagine what it was like. The humiliation. For me to have to sit and be lectured by some young doctor barely out of medical school about the ill treatment of my granddaughters. Had you any idea this sort of thing was going on? Because I most certainly had not. Which is hardly surprising, since nobody around here tells me anything. You are lucky to come back and find Emerald alive at all, young lady, judging from what that doctor said. Anyway, I cannot describe to you how embarrassing it was. It's quite ruined my whole visit. Imagine me having to sack your governess.
I fail to see why that should be so embarrassing. After all, it was you who employed her in the first place.
You cannot imagine what it was like. But then, obviously, you can't care as much as Frederick or I do, or you'd be here more often. God alone knows what would have happened if I hadn't been here.
Go on, hurry up. Yeah,
Right. Cheerio, everyone.
Well, you're off then.
Yes, I'll be back Sunday evening.
Good.
Come on, Alice, you'll go.
Oh, all right.
Emerald, the doctor says you can get up all day tomorrow if your temperature stays down.
Where are you going to, Nanny?
I'm going to see my father. He's not very well.
You mean like I wasn't?
Oh, I don't think he's as sick as you were, Em.
Is it my go? No, it's Alice's. Come on, Alice.
Bye, then.
See you Sunday.
Yes.
Appendicitis killed your Aunt Aggie, just like that.
Good dose of syrup of figs, that's all you need. You've been constipated all your life.
No need to talk to me like that. I'm not one of your toffee-nosed kids. I don't know, I really don't. The way you go on, you'd think I was one of your blasted children.
The way you go on, I do think you're one of my blasted children. It's my only time off, you know. My one weekend off. And you have to pretend to be ill again. Why do you do it?
I don't know what you're talking about. Well, you probably wouldn't bother to come and see me otherwise.
Your lunch will be ready in 5 minutes, so you better hurry up and finish that drink.
Yes, Nanny. Anyway, the little girl's all right now, is she?
Thank God. I think it was what they now call psychosomatic.
You don't say. What's that meant to mean when it's at home?
Well, she was only very ill because she wanted to be very ill. Her mind was so unhappy it made her body ill.
Beyond me.
That's why the Magic Island saved her.
Still, the little girl's all right now, anyway.
Do you remember those stories Mum used to tell us about this island that was magic?
You were far too young to remember any stories your mother told you. You were only a tiddler when she died.
Yes, I know, but I can remember that quite distinctly. I can remember her sitting on my bed one night in a red dress, and she had this little brooch like a ladybird, and her hair was all done up on the top of her head in lovely plaits. She must have been going somewhere. And she told me all about the Magic Island.
No, she didn't, Barbara.
I can remember it as if it was last week.
No, I told you that story. It wasn't really a story. It was a game I made up for you and your sister to keep you amused. Now then, how about some of this famous lunch?